Ladies and gentlemen, welcome here to San Jose as the Sim Karting World Championship heads south of the equator for the first time all season as we get past the halfway point in the entire 2014 Fall Division. Here at San Jose in Uruguay, South America, Corey Hayes has set himself on pole here for the final with Andre Castro alongside in second, Corey Hyatt in third, Braden Eves in fourth, along with, I believe, Ian Bushy there in 5th, Florian Goddard 6th. The rest of the field going to make their way through the last turn, and we are going to look for the green here down the front straightaway. Corey Hayes, Andre Castro, bring them down, and we are going to get it. Green flag in the air, and we are racing here at San Jose Circuit. Luis P. Serra, the rest of the field makes their way through the first turn and into turn number 2. This has been a trouble spot. Ian Bushy goes around. He's going to take Brendan Baker with him, and off they go. That's going to hurt them. The rest of the field is going to make their way through. Corey Hyatt has negotiated his way up into second place. Andre Castro's fallen back to third, and Braden Eves leads the train here in fourth. Behind Braden now, moving up from 6th place on the grid, is Florian Goddard. Goddard up to 5th. Then behind him, we have Adam Rylance in 6th, Xander Clements in 7th, and Brendan Cronin in P8. Down the front straightaway again here, Corey Hayes leads the field. As what has been much of this season, the times have been very close all weekend long, and in the pre-final, Castro hung right up there with Hayes. But this time, we'll see if anyone else can hold a match to Corey's flame as they make their way through the infield section. Hayes still with a comfortable gap over Corey Hyatt, but not pulling away all too much. Andre Castro hanging in, and Braden Eves starting to pull a bit of a gap over Florian Goddard. Xander Clements made a move there into turn 1 this past lap. He has maneuvered his way around Adam Rylance, moved Clements up to 6th, and Rylance back to 7th. So now they again negotiate their way onto the front stretch. A very mid-range to a bit of low-range track here at San Jose. A lot of fun, a very close racing, and as you can see, a gorgeous facility here in Uruguay. The South Americans have really put on a great facility here to have a good show at. Now as they make their way again through the infield, Castro trying to reel in Corey Hyatt, and we see the top 4 teams in the series here being represented up front. Top 5, actually. Every single one of the top 5 drivers right now representing a different team. Out front, Italkart Kartsport. 2nd place, Burrell Art Motorsport. 3rd, Kartsport North America. 4th, J3 Competition. And 5th place, Florian Goddard for PSL Karting. Carson Clements and Miles Rowe have officially dropped from the race after being involved in an incident on lap 1, with Miles Rowe being placed behind him. Gresham Wagner's gotten some damage from that. He's a bit farther back in the field. Ian Bushy now trying to hunt down Brendan Cronin as well. Now they're going to move to the right-left. That will set up for a long back straightaway, somewhat curved here. Hyatt starting to pull a bit of a gap over Castro as Braden Eves tries to reel all 3 in. This lap, a 22-lap final, and Corey Hayes overcooks it a little bit there. Corey Hyatt now only 3 kart lengths back, and we could really see some challenge here to Corey Hayes' dominance this season. They make their way through the infield section here. Hayes defending just a little bit to try and make sure he holds the lead. This is allowing Castro and Eves to both try to catch up. Corey Hyatt giving the signal here to Corey Hayes to work together and make sure they can pull away to make it a 2-horse race. I don't know if that's going to happen, though. Castro starting to reel back in the number 42. So again, the focus out front here. Xander Clements goes around Florian Goddard. He moves up into 5th for the Kartsport North America entry. Looking for a good showing in the final here, the Kartsport North America boys. 3rd and 5th right now. Corey Hyatt still reeling in Corey Hayes, and now the top 4 starting to close together here. Once they get within that drafting distance, draft very important here on Kart Racing Pro, and this could make a very exciting finish. All top 4 have been competitive all day. Brendan Baker was as well, but he had to DNF from the final here. Just some mechanical failures on the 16, and unfortunate incident on lap 1 with Ian Bushy, placing him behind the wall and in the garage. Down by the line here. Hayes still leads over Corey Hyatt. Great racing still between the top four as they start to get closer and closer, just like a rubber band spread out from the start, and they're starting to come back together again. Clemens starting to put some gap back in fifth over Florian Goddard and Adam Rylance as the PSL karting teammates start to battle here for sixth position. And now here onto the front straightaway as they make their way through the final corners. We've almost set up into tandems here as Braden Eves catching up to Andre Castro quicker than Castro can catch up to Corey Hayes and Corey Hyatt. As they make their way through the infield again, they're starting to catch up to the lapped Tony Kart for Kartworks USA, or soon to be lapped, I should say, of Elliot Budzinski. Budzinski with a little bit of problems on the start, and that's placed him back in the field. Again, Clemens sort of on his own right now in fifth place. Florian Goddard right behind Adam Rylance, as Rylance seems to have made the move around his PSL karting teammate, sixth position. Braden Eves now right up to the bumper here of Andre Castro as we look for third. Eves going to look to the inside in turn one, and he is through to P3. Braden Eves onto a podium spot now. Castro back to fourth, and Corey Hyatt reeling back in Corey Hayes. Right here we have completed 9 laps. We're on lap number 10 of 22 here in the final. And Hayes with going a bit wide there, out of the right-left. Hyatt with a run. Is he going to make a move here into this turn? And it is not going to happen. Stays right close there. The 42 gets a little bit loose. And now Braden Eves trying to run down the front two. Eves has been on a tear. He was starting second, hung on to second there in the pre-final, but locked it up into turn number 4, which is a very treacherous turn here at San Jose. His teammate Brendan Baker also went around, which put Baker that far back in the grid. He was second fastest in qualifying, Baker was. And again, just a very disappointing day there for the 16, but we look to see him very competitive next week over at GFP Karting. Then now the gaps begin to spread between the rest of the drivers. Ian Bushy has maneuvered his way around Brendan Cronin, back for, I believe, place 8th and 9th. Now, as they come down the front straightaway here, Corey Hayes leads Corey Hyatt by a marginal gap. Braden Eves starting to pull away just a little bit from Andre Castro. Xander Clemens hanging in 5th. Like I said, you know, really between the two mid-pack drivers right now and the leaders as they start to come up to the lapped cart of Gresham Wagner. Wagner holds the inside. He's going to hold up Braden Eves just for a second. The rest of them negotiating their way around the number 5. Another Kartsport North America entry. Wagner has not had a lot of luck this season, involved with some early wrecks that has really set his kart to be so damaged that he can't run at full pace. And he really hasn't been that far off. He's right been with Florian Goddard and Adam Rylance's speed throughout the entire weekend, but just not really able to put a good race together. And quite unfortunate there for the number 5. But with him slowing up Eves just a little bit, Castro got back to his bumper in turn 2, and still staying right there on the 41, as Eves again having some more ground to make up there on the leaders. Adam Rylance still leads Florian Goddard in 6th and 7th. Ian Bushy has definitely pulled a significant gap over Brendan Cronin. Cronin running for PSL Karting, Bushy for a team at Talkart, or a Talkart Kartsport. Excuse my wording there. By the line, very consistent lap times out of Corey Hyatt, consistently from a 41.218 to a 41.288 every single time out of the 42. But Braden Eves right now on an absolute tear of lap times. He has gotten down to a 41.136. A lot of drivers were complaining about how much rubber there was down on the track here. There's been a lot. We have seen 3 total practice sessions, along with qualifying, a pre-final, and a final. And with the way that San Jose takes rubber, you get a lot of grip laid down in a very short amount of time, especially with 14 karts here that we had start this race. Hyatt goes a bit wide there in turn 2, and Castro really pulling up there in the infield section. But once they get over to the back straightaway, that's where Eve seems to be at his strong point. Again, spread out in pairs here between first and second, third and fourth. Clements on his own. Adam Rylance has pulled a bit of a gap over Florian Goddard. And now here down the front straightaway, Corey Hayes over Corey Hyatt. The gap's about 2.5 kart lengths. Same being back to Andre Castro behind Braden Eves. That time by Braden Eves, 41.194. Corey Hayes, 40.945. So close lap times, but that time Hayes, fastest on the track. And fastest we have seen all weekend long with a 40.94. We've seen a couple drivers, Hayes himself actually, the only driver to break into the 40-second bracket, 40.9 specifically, in qualifying. And now he starts to pull a bit of a gap over Corey Hyatt. And with Hyatt falling back, that's going to give enough job for Braden Eves to try and reel in the front two. That time by, Eves was faster than both of them. And Castro staying right in the slipstream of the 41, following every move he does. So again, the leaders starting to bunch back up again. Corey Hayes really driving it in deep and making it stick in nearly every corner. Like I said back at Gank here, Corey Hayes is a very exciting and aggressive driving style in the way that he attacks the corner. Corey Hyatt, a much more strategic and tactical driver. The way that he attacks tries to be as smooth as possible, and Braden Eves, is mentioning that his biggest fault in the pre-final as well was that after getting back going, he had really overcooked his tires then by using too much wheel input. He's trying to use as little as possible to keep the tires from getting too hot and too worn out. So with lengthy finals like this that are roughly a little over 15 minutes in length, you really need your tires to be good on all cylinders, have a lot of rubber underneath them, and still be able to go through from lap 1 to lap 22 in this instance. So Hayes down by the line here. Hyatt has fallen off of the number 11 Ital kart, and Andre Castro staying right there on Braden Eves' back bumper. They're on lap number 19, which I believe puts them with 5 laps to go. 4 laps to go, I'm sorry. So 4 laps to go, they're going to come to 3 laps to go this time by, and Eves catching right up there to the number 42 Burrell Art Motorsport machine. Castro fell off him a little bit, head down the back stretch. Eves and Hyatt tucking to try and get the best aerodynamics and the least amount of rear weight they can, as they make their way here through the double right-hander onto the front stretch. Castro is starting to fall off the 41. And Hyatt falling off Corey Hayes. Braden Eves trying to reel him in for second. This could do a wonder here in the points championship. With 1 drop, even though Eves missed Suzuka, he is still in the hunt for at minimum second place. With Corey Hayes, a win here would clinch the championship for him. Anything about a podium would as well. With the drops here, Hayes looking for his first career Sim Karting World Championship. And as they make their way through the double left, Eves really getting sideways, and now it looks like Andre Castro has lost the draft of the number 41. Gresham Wagner politely moving out of the way here of the leaders, letting them do their battle, as now Hyatt starting to reel back in. Corey Hayes drives it in really deep into turn 2. On lap number 21, 2 laps to go. Hyatt knows it's go time. Eves knows it's go time as well. They both make their way into the S's here, or the S turn, and onto the backstretch. Eves now only a 1 kart length gap between the two. Hyatt looking to defend a little bit, baby. Not so. Eves not going to throw it in, though, because Hyatt driving it very deep into that left-hand corner. White flag in the air. One more time around. Braden Eves right on the bumper there with Corey Hyatt. He's pulled it back out to a kart and a half. Eves gets a little loose. Castro gets even more loose. And around goes the number 4. He's going to fall back to 4th, possibly 5th. Yes, 5th place now back for Andre Castro. Xander Clements up into 4th. Adam Rylance not able to capitalize. Still, the battle looks, and it doesn't look like there's going to be a change. As they head into the last section, Corey Hyatt tried all he could, but Corey Hayes is going to go 3 for 3 in the first 3 rounds of the SKWC KFJ Championship. Corey Hyatt's going to hold on to 2nd, Braden Eves 3rd, Xander Clements in 4th, Andre Castro comes across the line in 5th, Adam Rylance will come home 6th, Ian Bushy unofficially 7th, although hearing from Race Control, a 12-second penalty will put him, yes, back to 9th place, behind Brendan Cronin and Florian Goddard. Goddard, I believe, finishing 7th, Cronin 8th, and again, Bushy, unofficially, according to Race Control here, will finish 9th. The rest of the field going to make their way into the pit lane again. Thanks for tuning in, folks. We have 1 race left as the field heads over to Luxembourg, a small country right near Germany, for GFP Karting Center. A night race, the inaugural night race here of the Sim Karting World Championship, and what should be one heck of a show here on the broadcast, folks. This will be this Saturday, November, I believe, the 15th, 2014, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Be there, folks. It's going to be some great racing action, one of the biggest turnouts, and one of the biggest rule changes ever. No tucking whatsoever, so it's going to be a great race to watch, and a lot of new things coming out for the SKWC in that race and in the upcoming seasons. Stay tuned, folks. For now, I'm going to be signing off. I am Xander Clements, and I will see you next time at GFP.